What's up? Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video we're going to be comparing two very different techniques. One is fly fishing and one is spin fishing. Now I get this question all the time as to which is better, which is a more effective technique. And I think the answer might be surprising. Now obviously spin fishing, it's easier to cover water, it's easier to cast in some pretty tight nooks and crannies. But I think one thing that's overlooked is that fly fishing was invented for a reason, and that's because trout eat flies. So I think that the fly rod may be able to actually outfish the spinning rod, or at least it'll keep up with it, I think. So I guess there's only one way to find out, and that's to get out in the water and test it. But before we do, leave a comment and let me know which one you think is better and which one you use the most. I'm just interested to see kind of what you guys like and what you guys use. Watch the video, let me know what you think, and I'll leave my overall review of both of them at the end of the video. Let's get into it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got spinning rod versus fly rod here. So for the spinning rod, I'm throwing a spinner because I would argue that, like, if you're a trout fisherman that spin fishes and you're fishing for wild trout, or really most instances you're fishing for trout, you're gonna throw a spinner. I don't want to use live bait because that's just completely different. And the fly rod, I'm nymphing because nymphing is arguably the most effective technique, and I think is kind of the reason people fly fish is to nymph or dry fly fish, because that's something that can't be replicated with a spinning rod. All right, this is probably gonna be a fish. I'm gonna try the back end of this hole first. Pretty deep right there. Nothing. Just to start making long casts up into the current of this. Something ought to hit, right? Let's try to see if a fly rod catches a fish. I'm kind of surprised I'm not seeing any fish movement whatsoever on any front. Got to be at least a rainbow trout in this hole, this run here. Well, I threw the spinner right through that section and didn't get a bite. And then I caught a little rainbow. Granted, this rainbow's, like, I'm not gonna, if I were spin fishing and I didn't catch this fish, I wouldn't cry about it, but still. Another thing about fly fishing that's kind of worth mentioning is that I basically have a double nymph rig on right now. And what that means is that I have double the chance of having a fish hit. So basically you have like a bottom fly here, which is this is a stone fly. Then I kind of have like an upper fly here that's kind of a brighter fly that gets the fish's attention. So I essentially have two chances of catching a fish. Really? I can't believe the lack of freaking fish. I don't know if I can catch a fish or a fish on my fly rod right there. Now granted, I think that some of these little fish I'm catching on the fly, I just don't think they're gonna eat a spinner realistically. But still yet. Like that, there we go. I mean, instantly. And once again, this fish is only probably 8 inches, man, he might be 10, 8 to 10 inches. But I mean, the point still stays the same. There he goes, he's gone. I mean, literally first cast in with a fly, and I caught the fish. Another one. Oh, that was a bigger one. Whoa! That's my bad. Another one. So that's 3 fish after literally, not kidding you, just casting the spinner in there and not even moving one. And that's one I just hooked was pretty big too. I mean, he was a solid, oh, I don't know, 14 inches or so. That's not huge, but that's not bad either. So I guess what this is proving to me, which is a thought that I might have had like prior, is that trout eat flies. Like, the whole reason fly fishing was invented was to catch trout. So to pretend like throwing spinners is going to be more effective is crazy to a degree. Now, the reason spinners are so effective is because they put off vibration and they seem like an injured fish. But at the same time, that isn't necessarily always what the fish are feeding on. A fish's diet consists almost entirely of bugs until you get like a really bigger fish. So when you're fishing with a spinning rod and a fly rod, It's just something to keep in mind. I just feel like there's this stereotype that that spin fishing is just always going to be better and always more effective. And the reason people think that is because the barrier of entry for fly fishing, skill-wise, is a lot higher than it is for spin fishing. So if you've never fished in your life, you can pick up a spinning rod and pretty quickly and relatively easily get sufficient enough at spin fishing to be able to catch fish consistently. Whereas a fly rod, it takes you a lot more time on the water and a lot more effort to get good at it, which a lot of people aren't willing to do. Good thing about spinners is I can just launch them, which is nice. Got one. Whoa, a fish. That's a decent little rainbow, looks like. It's a rainbow? Yep. Oh, he's got like a black face, or side of his body or something. Come here, buddy. It's like dark. He had an injury, it looks like. So look at that. That's interesting. There you go. See if we can't catch another one in there. I mean, I ain't gonna complain about catching a fish on a spinner. That's good. So it's just like I haven't been able to catch one up to this point. If the fly rod had just kept slaying, it would have been a boring video. So at least something's going right. Of course, I might say that, and then I might just cast in here and catch like 5 fish on the fly rod. It's literally only one way to find out, and that's to cast. Oh no! That felt like a really good fish. Oh, that's my fault. Dang, man. Kind of sucks. There we go. Oh my God, huge rainbow trout. Huge rainbow trout. Freaking big. Stick your head down, dude. Oh boys, this is gonna be really hard. Stay down. Why are you putting your head up? Oh my gosh. This is a gigantic ring. I don't have a net. No. Why am I so dumb? Oh, buddy, this is gonna be stupid. This is a huge rainbow trout. There's not a whole lot I can do about it. What I might do is just try to get him over here and get a hand on him just so you guys can see what I'm working with. Jeez, dude, that's like a 20-inch rainbow trout. Easily. Fly rod. I see the spinner in there multiple times too. So when I'm fighting this fish, I'm just basically trying to keep side pressure on him and kind of tire him out a little bit. And he will eventually get tired. Basically the side pressure, all the side pressure is doing is it's forcing him to try to swim to the left because I'm putting pressure on him to the right. And eventually they give up. If I had my, oh God, I'm in a tree. Look at that fish, boys. He is colored up as all get out. Don't you dare go down the creek. Please don't go down the creek. Turn your head. Turn your head. Back up the creek. There you go. Nope. What did I say? 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 Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. Don't you dare do that. Holy cow. Dude, this thing's so big. Why is he trying to go down the creek now all of a sudden? We were friends, right? Were we not friends? Granted, guys, I will admit this is completely my fault. I should have a net. Look at that guy. Like I could net him right now if I had a... He's so pink. Oh, I'm such an idiot. Okay. Actually, you know what? No, whoa, whoa. I was gonna say, you can go up there if you want. Don't get stuck in that, though. Holy cow. All right. I'm gonna try to grab him or do something. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so apparently my camera's battery is dead, which is weird because I swear I fully charged it, but it's not turning on, so maybe I have a broken camera. I don't know, but I just got to show this rainbow off because this is probably one of the biggest rainbows I've caught in a really, really, really long time. And I basically caught the fish and then made like a little, essentially a rock, made like a little rock wall around the fish. It was basically a live well, and I ran and grabbed the net so I could kind of show her off a little bit. But I'm gonna show this fish off. It's a beautiful, beautiful female. I mean, look at the tail on that thing. Tell me that's not incredible. And look at that fish. Is it not incredible? To have a rainbow trout that big, to even be able to hold a fish this size is pretty impressive. So I'm gonna go ahead and get her released as best as possible on my phone, and we'll go from there. I mean, look at that. Just look at that fish. Oh. Spinner ought to catch a fish in here somewhere, right? Big fish. Oh, buddy. Big rainbow. This one's gonna be tough to land. Big old rainbow. My gosh, what is going on with the rainbows recently? This is gonna be real tough. I'll just be honest with you fellas. It's another like dang near 20-inch fish. On the fly again after throwing a spinner and not catching anything. Oh, this fish is gonna be hard. If he gets up to that brush pile, it's over before it starts. Oh, strength. Oh no. Oh no, oh no, I gotta put everything on him right now. Oh, come back down here, dude. Yeah. You gonna let me just get you? No, you're not. Oh, buddy. You can't get up there. Come on. This is where if you had another person, you could almost have probably tried to land this fish already. Ooh, that's another like 20-something-inch rainbow, dude. Jeez, chill out, brother. I can't believe we got two of these big rainbows in the same dang day. He is all tied up. Look at the tail. Jeez, look at that thing. You gonna let me hold you up for a second? The fish might be longer than the other one, it's just skinny. Sweet, let's see if we can't get a few pictures of this girl. All right, ladies and gentlemen, second, like, really big rainbow. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know why. I mean, this is kind of like, January for rainbows is essentially like September for browns, in my opinion, because they're probably gonna spawn here in February, March. The very least, they're gonna spawn in the next 1 to 2 to 3 months, and they're probably all pushing up this creek. But this is another rainbow that's just like huge. I mean, look at the tail on these things. Is that not incredible? I mean, look how long this fish is. I don't think it's quite as big as the other one, but it's just a really long, skinny female. So, yeah, I mean, you're not gonna hear me complain about that. So, I think I got a few halfway decent pictures there. Again, for some reason my camera is just not working, so I don't know. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this very well, but this fish, I actually saw it. I didn't say anything, but when I was casting, I saw something that looked like a fish move, and I was like, man, if that's a fish, I'll be able to catch it on this next cast. And I cast it in there, and right where I thought, I was like, man, this should be where the fish is, set into it. So I think this fish might be an inch shorter-ish than the other one. Let's get this fish released and keep fishing, because this is incredible. It started off as like a spin fishing versus fly fishing video, and now it's kind of morphed into, you know, catching 2 of the biggest rainbow trout I've ever caught, wild rainbow trout I've ever caught. And like, I mean, it's probably been an hour since I caught that last one. And I mean, just, oh, got one. Oh my gosh. Fighter. Aha. Oh, it's a brown trout. Of course, as I said, this could be part of the problem, is that there's kind of more of a baitfish type imitator, and I'm using, you know, probably only catch the brown trout. There you go. Brownie, brownie, brownie. That's the first fish on a spinner in like 4 hours. We'll pretend like that didn't happen though. We'll pretend like that's those back-to-back spinner catches, right? I'll take it though. Maybe that proves a little bit of a point for a spinner. Just, you know, what this kind of what this lure kind of more so imitates. But when you're spin fishing, you're almost always imitating some kind of bait fish, because you just can't throw a fly, which is part of the reason why fly fishing is more effective for trout, and most of the time, at least wild trout, is for that reason. Rainbow trout typically eat bugs a lot more, like they're just bug eaters in general, whereas brown trout, the bigger they get, the more they start focusing on different types of food. So it's not impossible that this time of the year the rainbow trout are just more active, and it's not impossible that could be one of the reasons the fly rod's smoking the spinner. But I don't know, who am I? All right guys, so after a day of fishing, yeah, I'm actually shocked at how poorly the spinning rod worked. Now granted, it's the winter, so the fish are probably lower in the water column, and I probably could have used something like a jig to maybe be slightly more effective. But at the end of the day, you're really only able to maybe imitate bait fish and maybe crayfish, or, you know, very larger bugs, because you can't throw really small things on a spinning rod. And I think that's one of the reasons why fly fishing is so effective, is A, you can use flies, which you can't use on a spinning rod, but also fly fishing just encompasses this really wide range of techniques that you're able to use. If I want to imitate bait fish, I can throw streamers. If I want to imitate bugs, I can throw nymphs. If I want to imitate, you know, some kind of dry fly or some kind of hatch going off, like blue-winged olives or whatever, then I can throw dry flies. And it enables you to throw many different techniques all on one system. So obviously the fly rod won this. I think part of the problem with fly fishing is there's this huge learning curve to fly fishing. I know that it took me quite a while to get proficient at fly fishing, whereas spin fishing, I picked it up relatively quickly, or even switching techniques was relatively easy. Whereas fly fishing is just like such a different ball game that it was difficult for me to pick it up. But now once I picked it up, obviously I've gotten to the point now where I'm arguably more proficient and I can catch more fish with the fly rod. So it's just something to keep in mind. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do plan on going back out and maybe trying to fish like a brown trout exclusive creek to hopefully show off some fish that are more likely to eat meat or other fish like brown trout are, whereas rainbow trout are really just bug eaters. So it might have been a slightly unfair comparison in that regard. One other thing is that this was all wild trout, and of course wild trout are more likely to eat things that look more natural. So maybe if I'd fished for stock trout, that would have been more effective, a spinning rod would have been. So yeah, let me know in the comments below which one you think is better. And also, let me know if you want to see this again, but with a different, maybe a different type of trout, like brown trout, or maybe with stock trout or something like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.